Steve Kim's top 10 games for week 7. So I don't want to keep the fans waiting too much long. So see what you got.
This is going to be another brilliant football palooza on Saturday. Every week's a great weekend when you have college football. So let's go through the list here, 10-1. All right. South Carolina versus LSU. Here is the truth of the matter. An SEC team can still make the playoffs with 2 losses. So both of these teams here are still kind of fighting and surviving and scratching and clawing. And now we see Lenore Sellers go up to Death Valley to play a great LSU defense. I want to see what version of Garrett Nussmeier exists. I think he's been injured. He can't follow through on his throws. I think half his body does not want to work a certain way. You got to get going here. I actually think if LSU loses at home, the heat is turned up on Brian Kelly. And I'd like to see what Mr. Fehoko has to say about that. Number 9, Florida got back on track last week at the Swamp. But now they go to Kyle Field and maybe the most underrated team this season. The A&M Aggies, gig 'em, Mike Elko. That's a serious football coach. And here's a quarterback that's actually exceeded expectations and made great strides, Marcel Reed. Young man is playing very well. I like what they're doing. 2 dynamic receivers out there. Reuben Owens looks like he's back healthy at running back. Watch the Aggies. No one's talking about them, or at least they're not talking about them enough. Number 8, you know I love Kansas. I'm a big Lance Leipold, Jalen Daniels guy. They go up to Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is a real, legitimate top 5 to 10 team. They look like the class of the Big 12. Can Jalen Daniels pull one out of the hat? They had a tough victory last week over UCF. I just don't see the Jayhawks being strong enough at the line of scrimmage to win this game in Lubbock. Then, JB, I think this is almost a must-win for Lincoln Riley. You are at home at the Coliseum. Michigan comes into town. Michigan has a very good defense. Justice Haynes is playing very well at running back. But I'll tell you right now, you cannot let a freshman quarterback, no matter how talented Bryce Underwood is, you got to protect that house. SC, I believe, is in a must-win situation. Then, the Old South's biggest, oldest rivalry.
Woo!
Georgia and Auburn. Coach, you want to talk about taking off some of the heat? Hugh Freeze can do a lot for his employment or future employment by winning this game, but they haven't beat Georgia in kind of a while. And that offense for Auburn is downright offensive. It's bad. I just don't know. I don't know, but Hugh Freeze really needs a victory here. Then, number 5. Fellas, I got a question.
Talk to me.
Is John Mateer going to pull a Willis Reed?
Uh-oh.
Is he just going to walk out on the warm-ups with the trench coat and then all of a sudden stick out his hand and say, we're good, and start warming up?
Woo-wee.
If Mateer plays, I really like the Sooners' chances here, even if he's only at 75%, because he opens up that offense. Here's the problem. Even if Mateer doesn't play, that Oklahoma defense, especially their pass rush against that A&M, the Longhorn O-line, which is just bad.
Yeah.
And then you got Arch Madness. I think Oklahoma might win this game regardless. Put me on the record. Red River Shootout. Okay, then. Arizona State, Utah. Utah cannot afford a second loss at home, Big 12 play. Arizona State, remember, their only loss was at Starkville. So they're still kind of in the driver's seat with their own command of their own destiny. Big game for Utah. I think Utah holds serve here against Arizona State, but I think this game's going to be really good. Then, the Ohio State, one of the very best premier teams in the country, goes on the road to play the Illini. Now, I know the Illini got blown out by 848 points a couple weeks ago to Indy. You know what, though? The Illini bounced back.
Yep.
There's one thing about Ohio. They're not a great run-stopping defense, at least by the numbers. They're going to have to run the ball. Let's see if Bielema can pull one out of the hat here. Then, Trap City, boys. Trap City.
Trap City.
Bama at Mizzou.
Uh-oh.
And it's a noon start.
What you saying?
So you've had Alabama with 2 emotionally charged victories. Now they have to play at Mizzou at noon. And they have Ahmad Hardy, one of the best players in the country, great running back, and Bo Pribula, who everyone misses in Happy Valley. Watch that game. Coach, that's going to be on the biggest screen on Saturday morning. Then finally, the Google me's go up to Autzen. Indiana, Oregon. I think Indiana's going to play hard. They're going to play well. They just do not have enough overall team speed. I like the Ducks here, but that's my number one game.
You don't think Mendoza could lead the IU Hoosiers to a
I
victory?
think he's good, but look, Oregon has the Inferno, Dante Moore.
They do.
And it's at home. Remember, that's a home game for the Ducks. It's in Eugene. Keep that in mind. That matters.
Well, there you go, y'all. Steve Kim's top 10
Steve, Braden was like, Oregon's due to lose a game this year, but this ain't it.
But at home?
Yeah, he said this one ain't it. This ain't the one they lose.
Right.
And then he said he thinks Michigan mud stomps SC.
Wow.
And he said that LSU's always on upset alert.
Okay, here's the thing about Michigan.
He said every alert.
It's a true freshman quarterback. Now, I like Bryce Underwood. I don't like his release. It's a little bit low, Coach. I think you'd probably try to fix it, but he's got real arm talent. The question I have is coming off their victory over Wisconsin, are they going to open up the offense? Because if I'm SC and I'm DeAnton Lynn, I'm going to say we're not letting Justice Haynes beat us.
Right.
We're not. We're going to play man. We're going to load that box, and let's see what this freshman has. I believe Michigan has to allow this freshman to open up the game a little bit. I'm just telling you, SC is going to make a real priority of making sure Haynes does not control that game offensively.
Yeah. Arizona State going to Salt Lake.
Yeah,
in a big weather game. I'm hearing thunderstorms expected. Probably have another fucking delay of 8 hours.
Crazy.
That's going to be an interesting one because Utah can't have another loss like they did. Yeah. And Arizona State can't have a loss. So it's like, it's going to be a great one.
For Arizona State, they are still undefeated in Big 12 play. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see about that.